Hi guys, it is Undertow here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about characters from the Bioshock series that I would love to see return in the next entry of the series. Now just a reminder that now I upload every single Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe and put on notifications so you know when I upload. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first character I'd love to see return into the series would be Elizabeth. Now Elizabeth really turned out to be one of the most important characters in the Bioshock franchise, and the Burial at Sea DLC really showed us what Elizabeth was capable of. Elizabeth's tears are a really cool game mechanic, which I think if we possibly played as Elizabeth in the next entry in the Bioshock franchise, it could be a cool ability to have. I did do a video about that with CJOC a couple of weeks ago, so I'll leave that link in the description to that video. But yeah, warning for spoilers. At the end of Burial at Sea, we do see that Elizabeth did die basically. Now this seemingly is the last Elizabeth that exists, but you know, as the saying goes, there's always a lighthouse. And so I do think there is a possibility that there is another Elizabeth out there in the universe that can find her way into the next Bioshock game. Next up for me would be the Lutece twins. These were also a very important pair of characters. And you know, they were both quantum physicists. They appeared everywhere in the game basically. They came up with the technology that really made Columbia be able to levitate. Basically, they're there for the whole of the Bioshock Infinite game, just to guide Booker DeWitt throughout Columbia. I want to see these characters return because they were just so interesting, really. The first point where we see them is like a really weird but cool moment where they're doing the heads or tails, and I think that's the first part in Bioshock Infinite that told you that really not everything was as it seems. Now I don't really know how they would incorporate it into the story, but I'm sure that they could do it a good way if they, you know, linked it into Bioshock Infinite and stuff like that. But really, if they don't want to link Bioshock 4 into anything that was happening in the rest of the series, then maybe they shouldn't have any of the characters on this list. Now next up is the Big Daddy. You might be thinking, whoa, Big Daddies really are only for Rapture. You know, in Columbia we didn't see Big Daddies, but what I'm talking about is possibly a Big Daddy or an equivalent, because if you think about it, Bioshock Infinite did have equivalents to Big Daddies. You know, it had the Songbird, which had the same kind of style and stuff like that, but it wasn't really anything like a Big Daddy. But then it did also have the Handyman, which did kind of have quite a few kind of similarities to Big Daddies. Now what I do want from the next Bioshock is some kind of enemy that is as significant as a Big Daddy. For example, something that they can put on the cover of the game. You know, Bioshock 1 and 2 both had Big Daddies on the front cover, but then Bioshock Infinite, which is the cover that most people have a problem with, was just Booker. And they've even came out and said that this cover wasn't really what they wanted, but it was the most easily marketable. So something that's as iconic as a Big Daddy would be great to see in the next Bioshock game. Finally, I do also want to see something similar to Splicers. In Bioshock Infinite, you didn't really get anything similar to Splicers. All of the enemies just seemed like normal people, really. Of course, there was like the Zealot of the Lady, which was kind of cool, you know, surrounded by a flock of crows and stuff like that. There was some cool enemies, like the Boys of Silence as well. Those were probably my favourite enemies in Bioshock Infinite. But I think nothing really beats Splicers because they're so creepy, they're so disgusting. And you know, I do want to see something similar to that. And that will help keep it going with the kind of dark theming that I want to return to in the next Bioshock game. Bioshock 1 and 2 had perfect theming, was all dark and like a horror vibe. But then Bioshock Infinite kind of stepped away from that, which, you know, was still good. It was a great turn for the series, but I think going back to that dark horror vibe will definitely help the next entry in the series perform well. Tell me in the comments below, guys, what kind of enemies and characters as a whole you want to see return in the next entry of the Bioshock series. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos coming every Wednesday at 8 PM UK time. So, thank you guys for watching, see you later, and peace.